All on the wrist, watch how I flip, watch how I whip, I'm in the whip, all on the wrist, I never switch, ice in the wrist, I get the money but I never switch. They saying you switch it, you won't get it. You know they came from the bottom and now we is lit. You was lit, I gotta get it, I gotta get it. You hating cause ice on the wrist, my bitch you wanna be famous, They act like they made us, you know I'm icy in Vegas, this for the haters, I make a lot of new money, when it's not savers, you be liking my flavor, I think it's cause ice on the wrist, on the wrist, on the wrist, watch out flash, I never switch, I never switch, I never switch, I never switch, ice on the wrist, ice on the wrist, ice on the wrist, ice on the wrist, ice on the wrist.
On a gorgeous southern afternoon, EA Sports coverage of the NFL takes us to Atlanta, Georgia, and inside Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Miami Dolphins and the Atlanta Falcons. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. First carry of the game for Christian McCaffrey. And he'll get about 3 as he takes this up near the 25. Give him 3 there on the first play of the game, and it's second down.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
This is McCaffrey. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. 10 yards there and a first down for the Falcons.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Now this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know, you know better than I, he has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
Well, they just keep marching right along. First down on a pickup of 8 there.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Back to the ground attack here. It's McCaffrey. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
And he's got a man, Calvin Ridley. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 23. On first down, this is McCaffrey. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's 2nd and 8. That's complete to McCaffrey. And he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved. Just as you said, they want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
Sliding out of the pocket. That's complete. Hooper. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. So another 3rd down conversion, and now they've got a 1st and goal. They'll try to run with McCaffrey. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. If you're going to run against this unit, especially down here, just beware. I mean, they're the top rushing defense in the league.
Yeah, and then they go ahead and they double down with the whole thing because you think, okay, let's throw the ball. Oh, yeah, that's right. They defend the pass pretty well, too. Very difficult task right now.
That time the completion goes for 4 yards, and we're set up with a 3rd and goal. No score after 1 on EA Sports. Trying to finish off this opening drive from the 3. This is 3rd and goal. Operating from the gun. Fields to the end zone, but it's incomplete. So it's been a long drive. They've held the ball for quite a while. Now what do you do here?
Well, to me, at this stage, after this drive, this close to the goal line, 3 points would be a letdown. I'm going for it here.
Here's Dustin Hopkins now to try the field goal. This a chip shot, a 20-yarder. And Hopkins' kick is good. And the Falcons are out to a 3-0 advantage. Well, that will go down as a 15-play drive, and it results in 3 points. So some disappointment?
It's funny. We had our conference before the game with the offensive coordinator. And what did he tell us? I just want every drive to end in a kick, right? An extra point, a punt, or a field goal. Well, in this case, I think it is a little bit of a disappointment because it did end in a kick, but that type of a drive should end in the end zone.
Rosen and the Dolphins now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll try the left side. Swift. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
What's tight? Tight is right. What's tight? Tight.
Now a give, right side. Swift. And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Here's Rosen. He's going to air one out. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down. The Dolphins will send out the punter now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. Able to avoid him at the 40. A great return there of 22 yards. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Coming this way, here we go.
2nd and 6. This complete to Jones. And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. A gain there of 21 yards. So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 30-yard line. Now a run with McCaffrey. He'll get about 6 there as he takes this one down to the 24-yard line.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
On 2nd down, McCaffrey. And they'll get this down to the 10. Sets him up nicely. 1st and goal. It was a pickup of 14. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Leads to 2nd and goal at the 10-yard line.
They'll go again here from the 10-yard line on 2nd and goal. 2nd and 10. And it'll be pulled in by the tight end. It's Hooper for the Falcon touchdown. Austin Hooper, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Falcons push further out in front. Extra point good by Hopkins. And the lead grows to 10-0. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
2nd and 10. It's Rosen again. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, C.J. Mosley. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Falcon defense has a touchdown. Here's Hopkins now for the extra point. He's got it, and it's 17-0. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it,
He rifles one that's intercepted. It's Desmond Trufant. And he will score. Touchdown, Falcons.
Partner, what we just saw, that's a great example of a team that was really amped up. They've been playing so well, yet they didn't get overexcited and have a bust on defense and gave up a big play. Instead, they created their own big play with a pick six. This one may be over.
Yeah, it's just the first half, but that lead has swelled to the point where you're wondering if it is over already. This will be taken to the back of the end zone.
The Dolphins take over 13-10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Watch twist. Watch the twist. Check 24.
On second down, Swift. And they're able to get this one across the 35. A Miami first down, that one going for a gain of 11. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now it's Rosen. Oh, what a catch there by Cooper. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime.
I got it. Check 50. Check 50. Hey, quarter.
They'll try the left side. Swift. And down right around the 32-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup.
He's tackled at the 32-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup. 2nd and 6 at the 32-yard line.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Rosen looking left side, and it's complete. The Dolphins going to take their second timeout as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. First foray into the red zone for Miami. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 11. From the gun, it's Rosen. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Able to get there and pick it. Cooper was the intended target.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. Well, you're under 30 seconds to go. Field position not great. Time to call it a half, wouldn't you say?
Well, you know we all have that little extra gene that says let's push the envelope a little bit, right? What needs to be going through the play caller's mind right now, a potential fumbled snap that can get returned, a strip sack that can get returned, right? Any of those types of plays, that should be a deterrent to calling something that could get you in big trouble.
Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25. 2nd and 5. Flushed out right. And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds. Maybe not exactly what they had in mind, but that scramble good for 6 and a 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 30-yard line.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. From the gun, Fields. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them. So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now. First and 10.
Hey, Charlie.
They'll try the left side. Swift, and he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. Different story this time around. We had that huge gain, followed by a sizable loss here.
Mike 50. Watch the out. Watch the out.
Now on second and 16. Rosen. That's complete to his tight end, Mike Gesicki. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to third down.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
Yeah, interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. Rosen to throw on third down. And this is going to be intercepted. Read it well, and it's picked. Cooper was the target there. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days. For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Now left side on the swing pass. And he's got a first down and then some at midfield. A gain there of 30 big ones.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. For big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big gain. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 12 yards is the pickup. Good for a first down for the Falcons. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Taco Charlton came in there hard on the blitz and got him down 9 yards behind the line of scrimmage. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Looking to throw. Fields. He'll buy some time. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Mike Hilton. He was pretty good a year ago in college, getting outside of the pocket and making plays, but it's a different story here in the NFL.
Well, in college, when he broke out of the pocket, his receivers often knew what to do in a scramble drill, and defenders weren't quite as adept at that. In the NFL, they work on that as well. They realize once he's out of the pocket, you can knock a receiver down, you can take him out of the play.
That's caught at the 25. And he finally goes down at the 23-yard line. It's a big play there for Miami. 59 yards. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. Rosen off the play action. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Nate Gehring. And this one will be brought back to the 22. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran the wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game.
Let's see what you got. Check 26, check 24.
Operating from the gun, Fields. And he will find Ridley. That's complete. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Calvin Ridley, his first touchdown on the year, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. So on 3rd and medium, they dial up the pass, and it works to hit the end zone.
And it's really not a surprise to me. That's a throwing down in the NFL because of how tough it is to run the football. But what offenses like to do is still show run formations to make them respect it and throw out of those. In this case, they took a nice shot at the end zone and made it pay off.
The Dolphins take over 1st and 10 at their own 29-yard line.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards.
And now here is another interception. Picked off near the 42. And a return across midfield into the 46-yard line. Intended that time for Cooper.
Dolphins take over 1st and 10 at the 46-yard line.
On the double. 44's Mike. Check, check.
You don't want none, baby. You don't want none. Hey, you don't want to see.
Throwing on 1st down. Fields. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. A really good pickup of 28 yards. Well, they had held him pretty well in check, but if you recall back in the 1st quarter, you said they needed to avoid the big play. He finally gets loose.
And the thing about it, it doesn't have to be a bunch of big plays. Sometimes one big play can be enough. That's why it's tough to deal with a guy like that.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Austin Hooper, the intended receiver. That'll bring up 2nd down. They're still throwing the football here, and obviously the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
I guess you're right. If they can get some 1st downs, just as good as running the football. The Falcon passing game looking good on this drive as they get the 1st down. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
Here we go, here we go.
From the gun, Fields, flush to his right. And he will score! Touchdown, Falcons! It's their quarterback. His 3rd touchdown of the game, number 9 on the season, as his guys continue to pour it on. Hopkins with the extra point, and the lead will swell by 1 more.
Dolphins 38. Dustin Hopkins set to kick off.
Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. From the 21, it's 2nd and 10.
Watch the flag, watch the flag, watch the flag.
Rosen will throw. Wide open receiver complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. That one a gain of 20 and a first down. Rosen now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Now Rosen looking to throw. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. It was Desmond Trufant right there step for step in coverage.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Harrison Smith. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Back to throw. Fields. And finding the tight end Hooper. Getting it to him in space pays off big time. That winds up going for 31. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles. It certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long. And I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they have the right coverage, they've still dented them. And now it's been a real issue for them during this game.
And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
So now it's 3rd and long, because remember, they also lose a down on the grounding call. Looking to throw. Fields escaping the pressure right. Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Thrown back across his body. Picked off by Tony Jefferson. And this one will be brought back to the 22. 3rd and long that time. He was trying to make something happen, but a little too risky.
Well, the field tilted on him. And what I mean by that is what you said. 3rd and long. Got to push it downfield to try and pick up the first down. Defensive backs live for this situation. And they took advantage of the young man right there.
And now here is another interception. Picked off by Nate Gehring. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
First down, Fields looking end zone, but it's incomplete. The Pro Bowl wideout Julio Jones, his intended receiver, but it's going to be 2nd down. The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense is going to crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well. Sometimes the defense dictates it. If they're going to crowd it, you may have no other choice but to throw it downfield.
And it looks like he'll be just a yard shy of the 5 here as he's out at the 6.
It's a game and 6. Makes it 3rd and 4.
The Falcons on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This is 3rd and 4. Back to throw. Fields. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Now it's Hopkins to add the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And last time, 1 play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. DeMarcus Lawrence able to record his 5th sack of the season.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
And with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be 3rd down.
That was impressive to me because while it was a pass play, they still rallied to the football like they were filling running lanes, and they were able to put the receiver on the ground.
So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. They face a 3rd down now as they try to find a late score. Out of the gun, here's Josh Rosen. Pressure comes and down goes Rosen. DeMarcus Lawrence in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it.
3 down, 3 down. Mike's 50.
They're going on 4th down. Rosen, he's going to let it fly. And my goodness, another interception. He's picked off at his own 46. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now. That's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here. And they're going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. On is Hopkins now for the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this? He's got the lane, and there he goes. throws. 20, 10, and he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late, but he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man. Jason Sanders now for the extra point. And they make the score a little bit more respectable here in our final quarter of play. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will.
And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
One of the fun parts about working with you is that we've learned that there are different ways to do things than the way we were brought up to do them. This is Madden. Of course they were going to go ahead and get another score. What do you mean take a knee?
And that just makes the final margin even more lopsided. I think they earned themselves a cold drink from the fridge, right?
There's no
Maybe
doubt
some
about
pretzels,
it.
too, some hummus. Go crazy.
See, we've learned.
Go crazy.
We have learned the Madden way of doing things.
So we had action to the very end of this one, the score on the final play that they didn't need to have. They didn't just run out the clock, though. They added to their final total.
Played it all the way to the end, and you know, some coaches preach that and tell their teams, that's what I want all the time, and they feel like if they don't do it themselves, they're not living up to the message that they're sending out.
So for the Falcons, they boost their record up to a strong 4-1, and they will hit the road next week to take on the Carolina Panthers. Meanwhile, for the Dolphins, it was a good first month, but they'll fall to 4-1 as they suffer their first loss. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports,